Atmarama Vachanaika Shashikarta Dashitam Ruja Samkhya Shabda Jata Yadyadarta Samritam Sarva Sarva Yukta Tatat Artha Buddhi Dakadam Prema Dhamma Devameva Nami Gauda Sundaram Prema Dhamma Devameva Nami Gauda Sundaram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai. We're not live, huh? Because the dark blue light is on. You sure?
I didn't go live unless Robert does it. Let me check. I just had it on standby.
You can't tell by looking at the camera.
Will that music song?
Well, normally when it goes, huh?
It's filmed in Maru and there is a flashing light.
Well, we could go to YouTube right now to find out. Are we live now? We are. Oh dear. You have to tell us, Radha. This isn't. What did you say?
Was there a TV?
Oh, she put it on. She didn't know. Okay, well, I hope I didn't say anything stupid. Yeah, we'll start now, yeah. Okay, so we're beginning with chapter 11. And we want to play Srila Gurudev. So we're beginning chapter 11. Chapter 11, we finished. Well, I wasn't here, but Maharaj, Madhusudan Maharaj was here. He finished. We went through the chapter Shloki, and Maharaj went through the rest of chapter 10, the divine glories of the Lord. That section, mostly that chapter is where Krishna is saying that he is everything, basically, and he is connected with everything, and he is the best of everything. And I am the taste of water, I am the silence of all secrets, I am the strength of the strong, and like that. And it's wonderful because it's giving us like a very simple way to remember Krishna. When he says, I am the taste of water, then when we go to drink water, we're going to remember that, right? So it's very, very merciful of him. And then at the end of that chapter, there are those famous verses where finally he tells Arjuna, what's the point to keep going on? Know this, yad vibhuti mat sattvam shrimad varjitam eva va tattade vava gachatam mamate jamsa sambhavam. That whatever you find in this world that's beautiful, that's wonderful, that's glorious, it's astonishing, that is actually just one small fraction of what I have. All of that is actually just coming from, an expansion of myself. So what to speak of, what I am. And then after that, Arjuna, he asks Krishna, I want to know more of your glories. I want to see this Vishwarup, this great universal form of yours. And, this is for people who need that. This isn't this is not the mood of pure devotion that you need to see this great, almighty form of the Lord. But it is something that establishes the divinity of Krishna for those who need to see that. And then at the end, you see Arjuna, he's uncomfortable with that form, and he prays to Krishna, please let me see that form that I have seen, And then it's also indicated there that form, that simple two-handed human-like form, that is actually the highest form. That is the supreme form. And anyhow, it's very, impressive to hear the description here, and gives us a very, some very wide scope of the nature of existence. We live in our tiny little boxes, and since hearing the descriptions here kind of widens our perspective and reminds us, what this life is really about. What is the real purpose of our life? We don't want to waste our time. We need to see the bigger picture of things. Okay, so we can start. So we're going to play chapter 11. Jai.
श्रीला देवदासी महाराज की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एकादशोऽध्याय विश्वरूप दर्शन योग। अर्जुन उवाच मदनुग्रहाय परमं गुह्यमध्यात्म संगीतं चत्वारोक्तं वचस्तेन मोहोऽयं विगतः मम भक्।
Okay. So we'll chant. I need to turn this off. It's really noisy. Okay, so we'll chant together. Arjuna Uvacha Madanugrahaya paramam guhyam adhyatma samgitam yattayuktam vachastena mohoyam vigato mama. Arjuna said, by your grace you have revealed your hidden treasure to me, and my ignorance of your supreme self has been dispelled. And because we see in Gita, Arjuna's presenting himself as not being aware of the Lord's divinity, and we can say this is in the mood of jnana shunya bhakti. He has a natural loving relationship with the Lord, so he's not thinking of him in this kind of way. But another aspect of that is for the general persons who will come to read Gita, they're being enlightened. It's being made clear to them who Krishna is. So Arjuna acts as like a vehicle for that. And so, like in the fourth, there's several examples of that. But one of those striking ones is in, I think it's chapter 4, when Krishna's going to begin his teachings of Jnana Yoga. And And Krishna says, previously I passed this on to the sun god, and he passed it on to, was it Ikshvaku, and like that. And then Arjuna, it's almost comical, Then Arjuna, he says, well, hang on a minute, the sun god, he was born like thousands of years ago, and so how is it possible you gave this knowledge to the sun god? And then Krishna explains his position. So there's some instances like that. So this is another example. Arjuna is saying, now you've revealed your divinity to me. Now I have knowledge of, my ignorance of your supreme self has been dispelled. Mad anugrahaya. Yeah, some things you just can't really translate them properly, many Sanskrit words, but this mad anugrahaya, the literal, it's put in English is by your grace, but in the Sanskrit it's more personal, more direct. It's saying like out of your desire to be merciful to me, desiring to give your mercy to me, you have, revealed your glories, your hidden glories. Okay, we'll move on to the second verse.
Vatpayam hi bhutanang susodistarasho maya tvatta kamalapatrak mahatmam apichatpayam.
Pavapyayo hi bhutanam shuddha vishtarasho maya tvata kamalapatraksha mahatmyamapi chavyayam.
O beautiful lotus-eyed Lord, I have heard your elaborate description of the manifestation and dissolution of the living beings, and I have also heard your description of your inexhaustible glories.
Never-ending glories. Okay.
Evametat yathathatvam atmanam parameshwara drashtumichanti rupam vaishyaram purushottam.
Evametat yathathatvam atmanam parameshwara drashtumichanti rupam vaishyaram purushottam.
O Lord, you have perfectly described your supreme self. Yet, O Purushottam, I wish to see this glorious form of yours.
So you've given me some description, but I want to see something, more concrete. Please reveal that to me.
Manyase tat chakkan maya drashtum vidi prabhu yogeshwara tato mettam darsayatma namottayam.
Manyase yadita chakyam maya drashtumiti prabhu yogeshwara tato mettam darsayatma namottayam.
O Yogeshwar, I implore thee, if you consider it possible for me to see it, please reveal your imperishable form to me.
Dhyani nana varna kritincha Mokkayam Sri Bhagavan Vaja Vaishame Partharupani Shata Shodha Sahasrasha Nana Vidhani Vidyani Nana Varna Kritincha.
Shri Bhagavan Vaja Vaishyame Partharupani Shata Shodha Sahasrasha Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Kritini Cha. The Supreme Lord said, O Bharata, behold my innumerable divine forms of many kinds, colors and shapes.
Pasyadityan vasunutran ashino marthastha bhavunadrishta purvani pasyastajjani bharata.
Pasyadityan vasunrudran ashvinamartastata Pahunyadrishta purvani pasyachayani bharata. O Bharata, behold the gods, Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini, Kumaras, and Vayus. Behold many wondrous forms, hitherto unseen.
Yeah, I mean, many of these words, hitherto means before. And saying no one else has seen this, wonder, because not been seen before.
Yaikastam jagat krishnam pasyadya sacharacharam mamadehi urhakesa gacchannat tastuvichasi.
Ivaikashtam jagat krishnam pasyadya sacharacharam mama dehe gudakesha gacchannatastu ichasi.
O vigilant Arjuna, behold in one place, in this form of mind, the whole universe of moving and stationary beings, or anything else you desire to see.
Wow, there's the one word, acharam, that is holding, including moving and stationary beings. Only one word. Or is it?
It's
Sachara acharam.
It's sandhi. It's joining words together.
That is the Sachara acharam is including, or is it only acharam?
Well, the word sa generally means like with, or you're including.
Asina.
And then char and achar, moving and non-moving. And it's run together.
Oh yeah, asina.
But yeah, I mean, Sanskrit is cool like that. You can just run together, like several different words, much more concise. Okay.
Natumam sakkati drashtum anenaiva sajakshusha dippam dadamite chakshu pashyame yogamanshara.
Natumam shakyase drashtum anenaiva sachakshusha divyam dadami te chakshu pashyame yogamanshvaram.
But you cannot see me with these eyes, so I give you divine vision. Behold my divine opulences.
Pashyami yoga vaishvara. That phrase is a few times. And so this point, is made that it is by Krishna's will that one can see things, see him beyond the ordinary scope of our mundane vision. And there's that famous occasion when Krishna, when he's in the mood of a diplomat, a peace, a messenger of peace, he goes to try and make some negotiation with the Kauravas. And meanwhile, they come up with a plot to imprison him. Duryodhana and his group. And so they foolishly try to bind him when he enters their assembly hall, and then Krishna, he expands himself and he shows his universal form at that time, and it's the royal assembly hall, and there's many great dignitaries there, sages and so on and so forth. And seeing this sight, they all become astonished and they begin chanting verses, prayers to him. And Dhritarashtra is there, and he's blind and he cannot see. And he's hearing all this commotion, he's hearing everyone chanting and praying, and so he prays to Krishna, I want to see this form of yours. Please, I beg you, can you remove my blindness, at least temporarily? And Krishna tells him, I don't need to remove your blindness. This is not a matter of seeing with mundane eyes. It's simply, if I will you to see, then you will see. So here also, by Krishna's will, he is revealing this vision to him. It's not like, if you, there's so many animals or other living entities who can see the greater scope of light waves, right, than humans. We have a very limited range that we can perceive, very, very limited. And there's a number of animals who can see much, much more than us. And I've read one article about some scientists who were doing some research into trying to, modify the genes so that humans can see that too. It's this very, ridiculous thing. And they got it down to a particular type of vitamin A that these animals get that allows them to, they got so much funding for this, and I was like, what is the point? What is the point? So you can see one more ray on the spectrum, very useful, But anyway, this doesn't work like that. It is simply, if he wills it, you can spend lifetimes, trying to manipulate matter to expand your range of, go through some therapy to remove your blindness or whatever. But this is a different type of seeing. This is something descending from above. It's not within your jurisdiction to control at all. And so this is an important point. Our whole relationship with divinity is based on the descending process and trying to understand how we can attract that flow of mercy. Because it's all, it's all in his court, it's all up to him what we can and cannot see. So therefore, our main focus is on trying to make our hearts, proper recipients of that flow of mercy. Like Gurudev would give the example of a radio. Nowadays radios are kind of old. Mm-hmm. It's hard to keep up. I know. It's like I'm reading now and these translations, and nowadays a lot of these words nobody uses them anymore. It's like every 10 years you have to come out with a new translation. It's difficult in the examples that you use in preaching. You can't say radio. Soon people will be like, "What's a radio?" the new generation. What is a radio? You have to come up with something else. But some receiver and transmitter. If we can tune that radio properly, then we can receive. We can tune in to some particular radio wave, right? Some particular channel. So we have to, adjust our heart, wire our hearts in such a way so we can receive that divine flow. So anyhow, Krishna is saying, I'm giving you divine vision. Okay, continue.
Sanjaya Uvacha Eva Mukta Tato Rajan Mahayogeshwaro Hari Darshayamasa Parthaya paramang rupamaishwaram.
Sanjaya Vacha Evam Yuktva Tato Rajan Mahayogeshwaro Hari Darshayamasa Partaya Paramam Rupamaishwaram. Whose turn is it? I don't remember.
Sanjaya said, O King Dhritarashtra, speaking thus to Arjuna, the omnipotent Supreme Lord Srihari revealed his magnificent, almighty form.
Okay, now we're going to hear some fearsome description of that almighty form.
Anika Bhaktranayam, Anika Adbhutadarshanam, Anika Dipyabharanam, Dipyanikuttadayudham, Dipyamallam Varadharam, Dipyagandhanulepanam, Sarvaschatyamayam Devam Anantam Vishwatumukam.
Aneka Vaktanayanam, Aneka Bhutadarshanam, Aneka Divyabharanam, Divyaneko Yatayudam, Divyamalyam Varadharam, Divyagandhanulepanam, Sarvascharyamayam Devam, Anantam Vishwatomukam. This is the same word in modern day. See, some things stay the same. This anek, it's the same in colloquial Bengali nowadays, means a lot, Onek, so you see it's repeated.
Yeah.
So many eyes, so many mouths. Okay. So the Lord revealed his effulgent, omnipresent, all-wonderful, universal form of many mouths and eyes, many marvels. Anek adbhut. All wonderful,
Marvels? Many marvels?
Marvels, this is a matter of choice in translation. He's chosen wonderful. The word adbhut, it's one of those things difficult to. Anek adbhut. It's kind of like maybe that usage in English is a little old-fashioned nowadays. But a marvel, something wonderful to see. You would call it a marvel. But nowadays you don't talk like that. It sounds a bit odd. But it's here, the word adbhut is very nice. Adbhut means something very wonderful or marvelous. So, and darshan, to see, and anek, many. So many, marvels, many wonderful, astonishing things to be seen there. Effulgent dress and garlands, anointed with celestial fragrances, many dazzling ornaments and gleaming upraised weapons.
Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhavedi Juga Padothita Jadi Bhasradrishi Sasyad Bhasastasya Mahadmana Tatraik
Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhavedyuga Padutita Yadiba Sajishi Sasya Basastasya Mahatmana.
The brilliance of 1,000 suns appearing simultaneously in the sky might resemble the effulgence of this great universal form of the Lord.
You remember who quoted this verse? You remember that? And on what occasion there was one scientist who quoted this verse?
Oh, when the atom bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the first test explosion.
Oh, yeah.
Oppenheimer,
yeah.
Yeah, he was familiar with Bhagavad Gita.
Oh, yeah.
Your dad used to love to tell that. You don't remember. You were too young. Yeah, he was very familiar with Bhagavad Gita to the extent that when he saw that go off, he chanted this verse. The brilliance of 1,000 suns appearing simultaneously in the sky might resemble the effulgence of this great universe. Divi Soya Sahasrasya Bhavaduha Purutita Adiva Sadhushi Sasya Vasasta. Okay.
Using it for the opposite direction, right?
Yes. All that, such power is there, but it must be used properly. Otherwise. But actually, when they were developing it, I don't know, like Einstein was involved, and his intentions were not bad. It was like afterwards he realized what a mistake it was. That's the thing. If they're in the right hands, for the right purpose.
But what right purpose could it be to?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But we know that Einstein was involved somehow, at the time he thought it was okay, but then afterwards, seeing the results, he understood. But what
could be a reason that it would be good to create an atom?
Well, I think part of it was simply like kind of like this. I think a big part of it is just like the thread of it.
Huh?
The thread of it being it's like a deterrence to other evil countries, right? Because, anyway.
Gurma says science will devour itself.
Yes.
Or like science or experience, all jaws of death.
Yes. Well, the development of these bombs, they're the perfect example of that. Now the world is literally living in the threat of such war. Okay.
Kastan jagat kritsnan pravibhakto manikada avashat devadevasya sarire pandavasada.
Tachaitasam jagat kritsnam pravibhakta anekada Ashadeva devasya sarire pandavasada.
Can you see it?
No, but I can come closer.
Welcome.
In that moment, there on the battlefield, Arjuna saw the entire multifaceted universe in one, within the body of Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme God of Gods.
We're hearing that Vishakha Darshan. Krishna is revealing his universal form to Arjuna.
Tatasya vismaya vishto madhanjaya pranamba shirasa devam kritanjaliravātata.
Tathasa Vishnaya Visto Vishkaro Madhanandaya Pranamya Shirasa Devam Kritanjaliravātata.
Astonished, the hairs of his body standing on end, Arjuna bowed his head in obeisance to Lord Krishna. Placing his palms together, he prayed.
Arjunavāca pasyāmi devaṁstava devadehi sarvaṁstatā bhūta vishesha saṅghāṁ brahmānamīṣaṁ kamalāsanasthaṁ rishīnāṁsca sarvanurāgāśca dīdistāṁ.
Arjuna uvaca pasyami devam sadeva sarvam sthatha bhuta vishesha sangham brahmanam visham kamalasana vishischa sarvam shatyam.
And to read that.
Me? Okay. Arjuna said, O Lord, I see within your body the demigods, all species of life, the celestial sages and serpents, Mahadev and Lord Brahma seated on the lotus flower.
Aneka bahudara bhakta netram pashyami tam sarvatunam tarupam nantam namadham punas tavadi pashyami visheshara vishwarupa.
Aneka bahudara bhakta netram pashyami tam sarvatunam tarupam nantam namadhyam napunastavadim pashyami visheshvara vishwarupa.
O Lord of the universe, O universal form, in all directions I see your infinite form of many arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes. I see no beginning, middle, or end of you.
Krilancha tejurāsim sarvatu diktimantam pashyami tam durnikham samantab dikta dalarka tutima prameyam.
Kiritinam Gavinam Chakrinam Cha Devidasi Sarvata Diktimantam Pashyami Tvam Durnirishyam Samanta Diktanavarka Dikrima Parayam.
I see you everywhere with crown, club, and disc, a massive effulgence illuminating all like the blazing light of the sun, difficult to behold and incomprehensible.
Tamaksharam paramam pedisavyam tvamasya vishwasya paraminidhanam tvamabhaya shashvata dharma gupta Sanataram stam purusho mato me.
Swamasyaganam meditavyam Samasya paramidhanam Samabhaya sasvata dharma gupta Sanatanastam purusho mato me. You are the supreme absolute truth, knowable by the Vedas. You are the supreme reservoir of the universe and the imperishable preserver of the eternal religion described in the Vedas. I now understand you to be the eternal supreme personality.
So, this is like very clearly establishing Krishna's position here. That which all the Vedas are indicating, the supreme absolute, that is you. Very, very clear, unequivocal language here.
Anadimadhantam anantapirija Virgami anantavahum sasishushanetram Pashyami tvam jifta hudasa bhaktan sate dasa visramidam tapantam.
Anadimadhantam anantapirija anantavahum sasishushanetram Pashyami tvam jifta hudasa bhaktan sate dasa visramidam tapantam.
I see you without beginning, middle, or end, infinitely powerful with countless arms. Your eyes are the sun and the moon. Your mouth is blazing fire, and the entire universe is seared by your radiance.
Vyaktam taikena tisashya sarva दृष्ट्वाद्भुतनिरूपमिदं तवोग्रं लोकत्रयं प्रपतितं महात्मन्
Yāvā-prīti-voidam-ankaranti Yatam-vayakena-visasya-sāsva Drishtā-yuktam-rupam-idam tavogram Lokatrayam-pravyatitam mahatman.
It's your turn.
Come on. You alone pervade all directions and all space between heaven and earth. O gracious one, seeing this wondrous and fearsome form of yours, all the inhabitants of the three worlds are terrified.
Ami twang surasangha visanti Kechid bhita pranjalayo grinanti Swasti tukta maharshi siddha sangha Stuvantikam stutivi pushkalavi
Avihitvam surasanga vishanti Yejivita pranalayo vinanti Swasti Sriyukta maharshi siddha sangha Stuvantikam stutivi pushkalavi.
All the demigods are entering into you, some fearfully offering you prayers with cupped hands. The great sages and perfected beings are singing your glories in beautiful verses, saying, May all auspiciousness come to the world.
Rudyaditya vasavuje sadhya Visheshino Marutas Chusmo Pascha Gandharva Druksha Surasiddha Sangha Vikshante Tvam Vismitas Chaiva Sarve
Rudraditya vasavoye shahasanya Vishveshvina vanutasasmavasara Gandharaya Shasura Sangha Vishante Tvam Vismitasraya Sarve.
The Rudras, Adityas, Vasus, Sadyas, Vishwadevas, Ashwini Kumars, Vayus, Dit, these are all the Devas, different groups amongst the Devas, the gods. Deities are the forefathers, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas, the Asuras, so also the other side, the Devas on the other side. Yakshas, Asuras, and Siddhas, perfected beings. Indeed, they all marvel to behold you. So again, these verses are all very clearly establishing Krishna's position as supreme in his own class, supremely above all the devas of this worldly plane.
Rupam mahate bahubhakta netram Mahabahu Bahu Bahu Rupadam Bahudaram Bahudam Straparadam Drishtva Luka Prapatitas Tathaham
Durupam mahate bahuvakta netram Mahabahu Bahurupadam Bahudam Bahudam Stradam Drishvaloka Pravyatitas Tathaham.
Almighty armed one, seeing your vast form of many mouths, eyes, arms, legs, feet and bellies, fearful with its many teeth, all beings, including myself, are afflicted with fear.
So in the other verse, I pointed out the word anek means many. So here the word bahu, it also means many. So you see that word again and again. Mouth, many mouths and eyes and arms and legs, feet, bellies.
Are afflicted with fear. Sometimes we hear the sun shines out of fear of the Lord and the wind blows out of fear.
But here, this bahu is different. This bahu is for long day. That means arms.
Nabhasmrisangittamani kavarnam Dhyānanam vittavisālanitram Vishvahittvāng prapratidāntarāgama Dhritina brindāmi samanca Vishnu
Nabhasmrisam jittamani kavarnam Ayatanam vittavisālanitram Vishvahitvam pravyatitam tatvam Vitinamagam Vishnu.
O Vishnu, seeing your sky touching dazzling form of
Myriad means many different.
myriad colors with gaping mouth,
Gaping, wide open, gaping mouth.
Gaping mouth and huge fiery eye. Fiery eye. My heart trembles with fear, and I cannot find equilibrium or peace.
What do you think about that, huh? Very impressive. No problem, it's fine.
Danstragadalani chate mukhani Drishtaiva kala nalasannibhani Dishono jane nalavecha sarama prasita devesha jagannivasa
Danstragadalani chate mukhani Drishtaiva kala nalasannibhani Dishono jane nalavecha sarama prasita devesha jagannivasa.
Seeing your mouth resembling the part of universal annihilation, ghastly with their terrible teeth, I am distraught and have lost my bearings. Be gracious, O Lord of the gods, O Abbot of the universe.
Amichattvang bhritarashtrasya putra Sarve sarvaivavan palasandhai Bhishmo Drona Shutaputra Stathacho Sahasmadiyai Rabijodhunkai Bhaktani Petaramana Visanti Damsakaralani Bhayanatani Keti Vilagna Darshanantareshu Sankrishanti Murinigai Uttamangai Yatha
Nichatam Dhritarashtrasya putraha Sarve sahaivavan palasandhai Vishmo Drona Sutaputra Statasya Sahasmadiyya Abhidodhatyaya Bhaktani te Ramada Vishanti Damsakaralani Vayanahani Yechipilata Dasanantareshu Sandishyante Sunjaruvamangai.
The sons of Dhritarashtra, their allied kings, and Bhishma, Drona, and Karna, along with their chief warriors, are all rushing into your dreadful mouths and tentacle teeth. Some can be seen with their heads popped and crushed by your teeth.
Anadinang bahum bubega Samudra deva bhimkha travanti Tatha kavami naraluko bila Vishanti bhaktan navidu jalanti
Yatanam bhavavum vedha Samudraya vimukadranti Tatha kavami naralokavira Vishanti bhaktanya vidojalanti. As many rivers flow towards the ocean to finally enter into it, so these heroes of the world are entering offering your flaming mouth that illuminates all around.
विशन्ति नाथाय समृद्धवेदाः तदैव नाथाय विशन्ति लोकास्तवा विवक्त्राणि समिद्धवेगाः निरीक्षसे कृशमानः समन् नरलोकवीरा विशन्ति वक्त्रान्नविदो ज्वलन्ति यथा प्रदीप्तं चलनं पतङ्गा विशन्ति नाथाय समृद्धवेदाः तदैव नाथाय विशन्ति लोकास्तवा विवक्त्राणि समिद्धवेगाः
यथा प्रदीप्तं चलनं पतङ्गा विशन्ति नाथाय समृद्धवेदाः तथैव नाथाय विशन्ति लोकास्तवा विवक्त्राणि समिद्धवेगाः. As moths aren't held to their death in blazing fire, similarly all the worlds are helplessly rushing to certain death, entering into your mouths.
Just read more verses.
निरीक्षसे कृशमानः समन्ताल्लोकान् समग्रान् वदने जलधिभिः तेजोभिरापूज्य जगत् समग्रं भासस्तवोग्राः प्रतपन्ति विष्णौ
निरीक्षसे रसमानः समन्ताल्लोकान् समग्रान् वदने जलधिभिः तेजोभिरापूज्य जगत् समग्रं भासस्तवोग्राः प्रतपन्ति विष्णौ.
O Vishnu, with your flaming mouths, you are relishing, devouring all the worlds. Your all-pervading, glaring effulgence, searing the entire universe.
Akkhadumeko pavanukrarupo namastute devavara prasida Vikhatumicchami bhavantamatram nahi prajanami tava pravrittim
Akyami meko bhavanugrarupo namostute devavara prasida Vigyatum vichami bhavantamadhyam nahi prajanami tava pravrittim.
O fearsome one, please tell me who you... Oh. Okay. O fearsome one, please tell me who you are. O Lord of the gods, I offer my obeisance unto you. Please be gracious. I wish to fully know you, the origin, as I cannot understand your actions. Vanquisher of all. It's a very grand chapter. Okay. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai, Bhagavan Shri Krishna ki Jai, Shri Arjuna ki Jai. Would you like to sing?
Hariharaya Nama Krishnaya Davaya Namaha.
Hariharaya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana.
Girirari Gopinath
Jiva Gopala Bhata Dasa Raghunatha Jai Gosai Kodi Charana Bandhana Viznana Chadista Purana Jai Gosai Jai Murita Nadata
Sri Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Vishakha ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Oops.